Hi, Namaste. So tonight I'm going to read Book 9, Chapter 25 on the method of worship of Tulasi Devi in the Maha Devi Bhagavatam. Om Vakratuna Mahakaya Koti Suryasa. Hari Om Tat Sat. Narada said, when the Devi Tulasi has been made so dear to Narayana, and thus an object for worship, then describe her worship and stotra, the hymn of Tulasi now, O Muni, by whom was she first worshipped? By whom were her glories first sung? And how did she become, therefore, an object of worship? Speak out all these to me. Sutta said, hearing these words of Narada, Narayana, laughing, began to describe this very holy and sin-destroying account of Tulasi. Narayana said, Bhagavan Hari duly worshipped Tulasi and began to enjoy her with Lakshmi. He raised Tulasi to the rank of Lakshmi and thus made her fortunate and glorious Lakshmi and Lakshmi and Ganga allowed and bore this new union of Narayana and Tulasi. But Saraswati could not endure this high position of Tulasi owing to her anger. She became self-conceited and beat Tulasi on some quarrel before Hari. Tulasi became abashed and insulted and vanished off. Being the Isvari of all the Siddhis, the Devi, the self-manifest and the giver of the Siddhi Yoga to the Jnanins, Tulasi, oh, what a wonder, became angry and turned out as invincible to Sri Hari even. Not seeing Tulasi, Hari appeased Saraswati and getting her permission, went to the Tulasi forest, going there and taking a bath in due accord, and with due rites worshipped with his whole heart the chaste Tulasi and then began to meditate on her with devotion. O Narada, he gets certainly all siddhis who worship Tulasi daily with the 10-lettered mantra Shrim, Hrim, Klim, Aim, Vrindavanye Swaha, the king of mantras, yielding fruits and all gratifications like the kalpa tree. O Narada, at the time of worship, the lamp of ghee was lighted and dupe, sindura, sandal, offerings of food, flowers, etc. were offered to her. Thus, hymned by Hari, Tulasi came out of the tree, pleased, and she gladly took refuge at his lotus feet. Vishnu then granted her boon that you will be worshipped by all. I will keep you in my breast and in my head, and the Devas also will hold you on their heads. And he then took her to his own abode. Narada said, O highly fortunate one, what is Tulasi's dhyan, stotra, and method of worship? Kindly describe all these. Narayana said, when Tulasi vanished, Hari became very much agitated at her bereavement and went to Vrindavana and began to praise her. The Bhagavan said, the Tulasi trees collect in multitudinous groups. Hence the Pandits call it Vrinda. I praise that dear Tulasi. Of old, she appeared in the Vrindavana forest and therefore known as Vrindavani. I worship that fortunate and glorious one. She is worshipped always in innumerable universes and is therefore known as Visvapujita, worshipped by all. I worship that Visvapujita by whose contact those countless universes are always rendered pure and holy. and therefore she is called Visvapavani, purifying the whole universe. I am suffering from her bereavement. I remember the Devi. Without Tulasi, the Devas do not get pleased, though other flowers be heaped on them. Therefore she is considered as the essence of all the flowers. Now I am in sorrow and trouble, and I am very eager to see her, who is of the nature of purity incarnate. The whole universe gets delighted when the bhaktas receive her, hence she is called Nandini. So may she be pleased with me. There is nothing in the universe that can be compared to her. Hence she is called Tulasi. I take refuge of that clear Tulasi. The chaste dear one is the life of Krishna. Hence she is known as Krishna Jivani. Now, may she save my life. O Narada, thus praising Ramapati, remain there. The chaste Tulasi then came to his sight and bowed down to his lotus feet. When she becoming sensitive out of the insult, began to weep. Bhagavan Vishnu, seeing that sensitive dear one, immediately took her to his breast. Taking then Saraswati's permission, he took her to his own home and brought about first of all the agreement between her and Saraswati. Then he granted her the boon. You will be worshipped by all, respected by all, and honored by all, and all will carry you on their heads. I will also worship, respect, and honor you and keep you on my head. Receiving this boon from Vishnu, the Devi Tulasi became very glad. Saraswati then attracted her to her side, made her sit close to her. Lakshmi and Ganga both, with smiling faces, attracted her and made her enter into the house. Narada, whosoever worships her with her 8 names, Vrinda, Vrindavani, Vrinda, Pujita, Vishvapavani, Tulasi, Puspasaranandini, and Krishna Jivani, and their meanings, and sings this hymn of 8 verses duly, acquires the merit of performing Ashvamedha Yajna, horse sacrifice, especially on the full moon night of the month of Kartik. The auspicious birth ceremony of Tulasi is performed. Of old, Vishnu worshipped her at that time. Whoever worships with devotion on that full moon combination, the universe purifying Tulasi becomes freed of all sins and goes up to the Vishnu Loka. Offerings of Tulasi leaves to Vishnu in the month of Kartik bring merits equal to those in giving away Ayuta cows. Hearing this stotra and that period gives sons to the sonless persons, wives to the wifeless persons, and friends to friendless persons. On hearing this stotra, the diseased become free of their diseases. The persons in bondage become free, the terrified become fearless, and the sinners are freed of their sins. O Narada, thus it has been mentioned how to chant stotra to her. Now hear her dhyan and method of worship in the Vedas. In the Kanva Sankha branch, the method of worship is given. You know that one is to meditate on the Tulasi plant without any invocation, avana, and then worship her with devotion, presenting all sorts of offerings as required to her. Now hear her dhyanam. Of all the flowers, Tulasi, the holy basil, is the best, very holy and captivating the mind. It is a flame burning away all the fuel of sins committed by man. In the Vedas, it is stated that this plant is called Tulasi because there can be no comparison with her amongst all the flowers. She is the holiest of them all. She is placed on the heads of all and desired by all and gives holiness to the universe. She gives Jivan Mukti and devotion to Shihari. I worship her, thus meditating on her and worshipping her according to due rites. One is to bow down to her. O Narada, I have described to you the full history of Sri Tulasi Devi. What more do you want to hear? Now say. Here ends the 25th chapter of the 9th book on the method of worship of Tulasi Devi in the Mahapuranam Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Vedvyasa. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadra Kali Kapali. Om Om Vrindavani Vrindavashwa Pujita Puspasananandini Krishna Jivani Viswapani Tulasi. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Tuya Mata Chapitatu.